I'm on the come up, jump up, I pick my gun up. Joe Jackson with trap.
But yeah, I was talking with him, Jeremy, right? And he was talking about how, yeah. Matter of fact, he wanted me to text him when we were about to start recording, man.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, man, y'all crazy because y'all like that movie. I'm like, what movie, man? Suicide Squad. It was trash, man. Like my son was like 10 minutes into it. He was like, Dad, turn it on. Like, no, like he said, no, son, I can't do it. I got to finish it. And then by the end, his son came back, and his son said, "You still watching it?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm still watching it, but it's terrible." I'm like, "Dog, come on, man. This is not bad, right?" But
Jeremy is giving to exaggeration, man. It's like the first of all, the first 10 minutes was like insane. You know what I'm saying? I think you know what it is, and I think this is why he don't like it for real. It's expectation going into a movie, right? So it's like if I was going into this movie expecting like Malcolm X, or expecting Judas, what is it? Judas and the Black Messiah? Mm-hmm. If I was expecting that and then go in and see Suicide Squad, I would be sorely disappointed. But if I'm going into it knowing the whole premise of the shit is you got some superheroes, some just regular people, they're all villains, and you got this one woman who's saying, look, I'm gonna put a bomb in your head if you don't do what I tell you, but if you complete the mission, I knock 10 years off of your prison sentence. First of all, that's just a ridiculous premise. It's almost the level of The Purge. It's slightly less, ridiculous than The Purge. Right. So going into it like that, with that in mind, and going into it knowing that this is a movie based off of a comic book series, if you go in with that expectations and then you see how they executed it, then I think how can you not be like, okay, they did a good job. Even if you want to say it's not for me, they did a good job executing it based upon those criteria. But just to be like, it's garbage, it's trash, I'm just like, yo, what did you expect? You saw the first one. Like, come on. This one, it made up for the failings of the first one, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'll give you that, man. I'll give you that. I mean, and I told him this. I said, listen, I'm going to defend this movie because there is
tooth and nail
in hell that this is on par or worse than the first one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because think about it, right? For everybody out there, and I guess this can kind of go into our actual Suicide Squad review. Bow.
Boom.
Right? So for everybody out there, right? Suicide Squad came out this Friday. Well, actually Thursday night, Friday for HBO Max and in the theaters as well, right? And to us, anyways, the movie is a lot of fun. Yes, it's gory and bloody, but it just adds to the movie. It's not gratuitous. It's not too much, but it has the James Gunn wit and clever writing in it. Now, by no means, it's not Shakespeare. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not Menace to Society. It's not Gone with the Wind. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not Quentin Tarantino writing.
So you're saying basically at the end of it, you're not going to be pondering life and pontificating on the greatness of this film masterpiece. You just like, oh, that was dope. You know what I'm saying? I like that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
You will not spend time writing a think piece about this movie, right?
Thesis.
But you will walk away like, damn, that was a whole lot of fun. It was funny, a lot of action in it, a lot of dark humor in it. And a lot of our people, well, a lot of our followers, a lot of our friends are saying this movie is the epitome of trash juice. And I'm sorry, it's not. It's not. You're wrong. All of y'all are wrong. Point blank. That's it.
Facts. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Sorry, this is what it is. The movie was a lot of fun. And you know what? This is me. I'm really big on apples to apples comparisons. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to compare the Suicide Squad, which is Suicide Squad 2. I'm not going to compare this movie to Avengers Endgame. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to compare it to something that's already, like, most people would agree it's probably like the greatest superhero movie, or at least top 2 or 3. Most people at least put it in the top 2 or 3.
Ooh, that's pretty high.
You wouldn't put Endgame in your top 3?
My bad. I'm thinking.
No, not this. I'm saying
Endgame. Yeah.
I was a little bit ambiguous.
Top 5, Dead or Alive.
Oh,
one LP.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So it's probably number 1 for me, but just for the sake of argument, let's top 3 for most people who like this kind of movie.
Gotcha.
So knowing it's not going to be that, let's compare it to other DC movies. Let's compare it to the first Suicide Squad. Let's compare it to that train wreck, the actual trash juice, Wonder Woman 84.
Right.
The year I was born, I'm ashamed to have been born in that year because it's the same year as that movie, for real. Let's compare it to Batman versus Superman. Let's compare it to both versions of the Justice League movie. Let's compare it to those movies, and where does it stand? So to me, it's on top of all of those movies, except maybe the Snyder Cut. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. As far as DC movies, I think most would agree, or at least I'm going to speak for myself. In no particular order: Snyder Cut, Aquaman, the first Wonder Woman, and this joint. To me, those are the top 4 in no particular order, as far as DC movies go. So the fact that this movie just came out, and to me, it's already in the top 3 or 4, that says enough right there.
Okay, so I guess we'll keep this topic spoiler free, right? Because we don't want to give anything away. Some people are maybe still want to see it in the theaters, or maybe just want to hop onto HBO to watch it, right? Mm-hmm. But I'll say this: as far as ranking, it's up there. It's up there. I'm not gonna lie. Just again, just off of the fun factor, the movie is so much fun to watch. Now I watched. Damn. Excuse me, y'all. I watched it on my big screen TV, right? Surround sound, clear picture, by myself in the dark. Great. I can only imagine if you saw this in the theater, even bigger screen, better audio, etc. Listen, man, the entire time from the intro to the post mid credits, whatever, man, I was satisfied from beginning to end. For me, it didn't drop down. And one thing that Jeremy was like, man, why they battling a big old starfish? Nigga, it is a comic book villain. It's a villain. His name is Starro. Matter of fact, didn't they use a version of him in the DC, I want to say in the Justice League comics? Or wasn't somebody else?
You talking about the actual comic books?
My bad. I'm talking about the
show.
The show.
He was definitely on Batman: The Brave and the Bold. Starro was up there.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he was on Avengers, Justice League Unlimited or not. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Yeah, because I know there was a episode there where it was Green Lantern, I think Hawkeye, and maybe the Flash was on a planet where people were being like they were like being taken into this light. And they was coming up like brainwash, and I'm not sure if that might have been them. But anyways, I might be off, right? But yeah, man. I mean, hands down, I want to see the movie again. And if I get the chance, I might just spend some money going to the theater just to experience the way that it was meant to be seen.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go to the movies. Oh, you know what? Only because of. Okay, now I'm glad you brought that up, because now I'm thinking, I wish I went to the movies to see it yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Because it's definitely one of those type movies, but it's one of those things, bro. It's just like, I don't know why I compare everything to sex. I guess I'm just nasty, but it's like, to say you was out there, running these streets, and you knew the girl that you really wanted, you could smash her a week from now, but it's a girl that you kind of like, and she's here right now. That's what. I could just wait, but you know what? I'm probably just gonna partake right now because it's right here. Same thing with the shit. It's on HBO Max right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, okay, that was it
was nasty.
Analogy.
It was nasty. Yeah,
cool
it's just
analogy.
like you gonna eat it. You gonna be like, you gonna, yeah.
Like, should I get the box now?
I'm just going to hold out. No,
you know.
niggas is about to take that box. Take that box, nigga.
With consents.
Oh, definitely.
With consents.
Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. Side note, BlurCon. I heard. Oh my! I shouldn't even be telling this story.
All right, don't be a chatty patty now.
I'm not gonna be a chatty patty.
Right.
I'm not gonna. It's not gossip, but it's just this whole. It was a party, right? Now I wasn't at this party, right? This party happened before. Now I was there that night, but I think I was
allegedly.
I was not at this party. My woman is listening. I was not at this party. This shit was told to me secondhand, right? Party late at night. Drinks is flowing. It's getting kind of frisky. 4 or 5 dudes, for whatever reason, decide to take their shirts off. Everybody's dancing, having a good time. And this is what I'm hearing, because again, I wasn't there. A woman decides, hey, you know what? The fellas is doing it. I'm gonna do the same thing. So she takes her top off. Before this is okay, cool. But this is the shit that gets me, because I kept hearing this story from different people I know. And I was like, yo, what is these dudes thinking? Like 3 dudes from out the blue jump in is like, hey, listen, you don't have to take your shirt off if you don't want to. No, it's okay. No, we just want to be sure that you're comfortable and that you know that you don't have to. I'm like, nigga, y'all trying to see some titties and like what's happening, man? Like this is a new generation.
Listen,
I understand consent. I get that, man. But ain't nobody put a gun to her head. She's doing it because she wants to do it. I guess she's maybe like an exhibitionist or whatever. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, I met the girl. She's very cool, man. But like, why y'all like, really? Like, do y'all want to see titties? These niggas is anti-titties these days. I don't know what it is. They anti-breasts.
Listen, man, I don't fault them for trying to save somebody or to protect our queens, right? You know what I'm saying? Maybe they thought she was inebriated. Maybe she was drunk. Like, yo, shorty, you ain't got to do all of this just to have fun, whatever. Yeah. I can understand. Yo, side note to your side note, right?
2 side notes.
2 side notes, right? HBO Max got a dope ass documentary about Woodstock '99. What do you remember about that Woodstock?
How old was I? 99. I was about 15. I remember it being all over MTV.
Yep.
I remember it being like a sea of people. Was that the joint that DMX performed at? It was like he was performing for the entire planet Earth.
Yo, he was performing My Nigga, and he was like, "Ready for war?"
Yeah.
Every white person was like, "My nigga." I mean, yo, you talking about
a different time, people, man. Different time,
sea of people, right?
Yeah.
But look, right. So there was a bit in the documentary where one guy was like, "Man, I ain't never seen so many titties before in my life. I got sick of it. That's
gonna take a lot of titties to make a straight man be sick of titties. It takes a lot of titties.
Women were just walking around top off, having the time of their lives, right? But but at some point, then there was a lot of guys getting a little bit too gropey for their own.
And see, I understand that, and I've seen that, and you know what I'm saying. I've been at parties where, even if I'm inebriated, still I'm that type of person. Even if no matter how many drinks I have, my radar for stuff like that is still going on. So I remember a side note to a side note. I went to DC a few years back. I went it was a group of guys and girls, and we was all lit, right? But one of the girls, she was actually talking to a former NFL player, no name dude, but he's kind of known in the city of DC or whatever. He she got invited back to the VIP. So I, myself, and a couple other people went with them, and like again, we was all super lit. But the dude who used to play in the NFL, he kept trying to take her to like another part of the VIP, like a closed door part of it. And we wouldn't let him take her back there because like, yo, she's tore up. You know what I'm saying? And she with us, so we're not just gonna let you just go back and do whatever. Like she's not in her right state of mind. You know what I'm saying? So we blocked this nigga from doing that. So I get that. But damn, if somebody just want to take their time, let her take. This is America, okay?
All right.
She has a right to take her top off as long as she's not being forced to take her top off. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, man.
It is what it is.
Hey, man, you know,
some people like to take their tops off. It makes them feel good. She probably took her top off for the same reason them dudes took their shirts off. You just feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like Muscle Man on regular shirts. Woo! It's
all
like
the time, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, shout out to Muscle Man, dog. Regular show.
He's my spirit animal.
I remember going to New York, man. And damn, how we're on the topic of titties. But anyway,
side note to a side note.
The fifth side note, right? So went to New York City, right?
Yeah.
And went to Manhattan. And I haven't been to New York in like almost a decade, maybe even more, right?
Me too.
Go to Manhattan with my lady. And there was, women out there in body paint. Some big old breasts. Nigga. I had to take like a little look. And then I was looking at her face the entire time, like, look, baby, I'm not looking over there no more. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gonna catch me ogling some bare-breasted, painted breasts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, man? But hey, I go to say they were comfortable in their own birthday suit. You know what I'm saying? They know what they was doing. They was hustling. That's the New York way. And hey, man, I ain't see nobody, trying to grope them or any of that bullshit right there. So respect women's bodies. You can look at the titties if they're okay, taking it off at a party, but don't go crazy. But anyways, back to Suicide Squad. So question, do you think, there we go, boom. Do you think they're going to do a part 2? I mean, as of right now, I haven't heard any like box office projections, and we know it's COVID. You probably have more people streaming now than going to the actual theater. So, what do you think?
I mean, I'm here for it. I wouldn't mind. I don't need it next year. 2 years from now, 2.5, 3, whatever. I'm with it. And they didn't kill off the main people yet again. So
did they?
No. Well, no spoiler
no
free.
spoilers, but
this ain't okay. Harley Quinn don't die. I think everybody knows she's like one of the flagship people. She's a main person in the DC EU. So Harley Quinn don't die. That's not even really a spoiler, man. But I'm here for it. I think, like you was talking about the box office, that box office is king. You know what I'm saying? Or at least in this situation, box office and streaming numbers, also some combination of the two, is king. That's what's going to determine if they're going to do another one or not. Again, it's all about money. So I definitely would watch another one. The cool thing about the Suicide Squad is you can keep refreshing the guys because there's no shortage of B-list villains. You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't put like the Joker in it and like Mr. Free, like A-list type villains, but these bargain basement guys, you would put them in.
I will say I was surprised how some of the characters died just from looking at the trailers or like seeing how many people were like being interviewed for the movie. It was how can I don't want to spoil nothing, man. It's so hard to do a review without spoilers. Yeah, but it was a surprise on which characters died and how they died. Because I would have thought some of them would have made it longer throughout the movie, right? Or some would be there to like maybe the final end. You get the big final showdown, and that's where more people die, right? Again, not spoiling anything, but
you know what? Hey, check it. How about this? What you think about this? How about since we giving people an ample opportunity and we didn't just throw nothing in their face, we just now do our regular review of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you haven't seen it yet and you're the type of person who hates spoilers, like go away for like 5 minutes. We'll make it like 5 minutes long. And then we'll just because we need to get into this. Because otherwise it's gonna be like next week and when it's in the luster then died down, then we actually do a review on it.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead then. I'm gonna put it up here.
Yeah. 100%. Lord, I hope I ain't got the Rona. I got this cough. I got my toffee, right?
Listen, man, I've been having a sore throat for the past like 3 days now, man. Also got my tea as well, man.
It's funny because it's coffee and tea, so I call it toffee. But you know, obviously toffee is already a thing. So it's a skit in there somewhere. I'm working out the kinks in it. It's gonna be a skit in there somewhere.
Okay, man.
But yeah, I needed some caffeine too.
Yeah, I feel you. But all right, everybody, y'all see on the screen, we're talking about Suicide Squad. We already went through a little non-spoiler, what we like. You know, Jeremy, you're still wrong. And now we're gonna get
Don't make me laugh. Get some cough drops.
So you mean both, man. But now we're going to get into the spoiler side of things of this movie.
Yeah.
So you go first, man.
All right, back. So good, the bad, and then like my thoughts on it. Well, no, I'll do the bad first. The bad. And it wasn't a lot of bad. You know what I'm saying? I think this movie thoroughly enjoyable. And shout out to Jeremy. I give him some shout outs right here because he agrees with one of my assessments of the bad part. Harley Quinn somehow takes out 40 armed soldiers.
I'm cool
by herself.
I'm cool with it.
No, let me tell you this. I'm cool with it happening because you can't listen. There's a difference between just the story and the plot of the story. It's like the plot is like the story plus how do we go about the story. So it's kind of two things in one, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the plot, you can't kill Harley because again, she's a main character, right?
Correct.
So she's gonna beat 40 dudes. It just kind of got to be more believable. Like, we're not looking for really believable because of what we're talking about, superheroes and shit, but make it a little more believable. Like, she just had a couple of guns and she was just teeing off on dudes. You could write it in like, okay, maybe she got a bazooka from somewhere. Then you got a bazooka, you can take out 15 or 20 people real easily. So to me, it's just lazy writing, right? That one scene with her. Other than that, I can't really say nothing bad about it.
Listen, man. I like that whole entire scene. And I'm gonna tell you why, man. Now, Jeremy and I were going back and forth. Like, man, she ain't got no combat skills. She don't really be fighting like that. You know, every once in a while in the Batman animated series, you know, she would hit somebody with like a hammer.
With a hammer.
Or a bat or some shit.
Big ass hammer.
And then I'm like, look, man, she got hands, dog. She got hands. She's a homicidal maniac like Joker, but maybe a little bit softer, just maybe.
She got a PhD too. You can't forget about that. She got brains, so she's a smart, insane person, and that's dangerous.
Boom. So
that's dangerous.
But look, man, I knew from the get. I'm like, listen, you can't have her out for too long, and she's gonna have a moment of shine. And that was her moment of shine, and yes. She done took out 50 niggas like she was Dom and Fast 9.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? But it was more entertaining than Fast 9. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And
I can get with that.
And the way that she murked all them dudes was flashy. It was funny. And then she got the javelin. They saw all the flowers and birds flying out from behind her, getting kind of artistic by James Gunn, whatever.
What the hell was that about? Anyway,
I don't know.
See, is it something to do with the javelin?
Probably.
Or was it just trying to show that she's kind of crazy and this is how she's seeing everything in her mind?
That's how
that left me a little. Yeah, that's what I thought. But
that's how. Yeah,
that left me a little puzzled.
I took it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like she was having so much fun killing, but it was also kind of like colorful and bright in her killing. That's
Looney Tunes shit.
Right.
Tell me if this one made more sense and been even cooler. She don't know why she got the javelin. The dude with the javelin died before he could tell her what the javelin was for. What if the javelin got powers and it made her super whatever as long as she was holding it? Or it had the ability, like you just throw it at one guy and it is sentient and it knows to go and kill 10 other guys.
Right.
That would not have been hard to write at all. And then I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That's how Harley by herself can take out an army by herself. It makes sense. But they didn't do that. They didn't do that.
No. But
that's my gripe. And that's my gripe.
I give you that.
All right, so
My
That's
gripe,
the bad. Okay,
my gripe is I wish the squad members that died on the beach, I wish for some of them just to stay a little bit longer throughout the movie, especially Boomerang or Captain Boomerang. The way he died was hilarious, man. But the first time he got busy with the boomerang, it's over like that.
But you know what though? I would tell you two reasons why that's not my grade. Number one, even going back to middle school, language arts teacher, writing teacher always taught me if you write in a paper, you gotta hook motherfuckers from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly how she would talk to. Like, Chris, you gotta hook motherfuckers. Nah, she ain't say that for real. But that got you into it. It's like, oh my God, like, wow, I expected him to be around, blah, 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 blah. And he gets killed in the first 10 minutes of the movie. To me, that's a plus. But number two, let me tell you this. Captain Boomerang has always been an afterthought. He's always been for comic relief. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like him, what was it, Captain Cole? And it's a trio that are their rogue. Mirror Master. Their rogues, part of the Flash's rogues gallery.
Yeah.
But Captain Boomerang has always been like comedy relief, man. But and he died in the comedic way.
Hold on now. Now he was a good part of the first one. So that's why I thought he would carry on more in the second one. And for the people that's seen it, it was just hilarious how the way everybody died on that beach. But the funniest was Detachable Man. His arms came out of his socket and they were slowly just like waving in the wind to get to the people with the guns. And then he wasn't hitting them. It was just
it's like snapping. He was play fighting. Like this. They started shooting him, Jay. He was like, ah! He on the ground feeling it. Ah! Harlem shaking.
Yo.
Damn.
Yo, that shit. It's ridiculous. And then, hold on. And what got me too, man? That damn weasel. I don't know why, but every time I see that motherfucker, man,
that nigga's ugly.
Inside,
that nigga's ugly as shit. They did it on purpose. And you know what? You know how I knew he was about to die? When they was up in the plane, and Pete, what's his name? Pete Davidson? Mm-hmm. Is that his name?
Well, that's his real name, yeah.
Yeah. So he was like, wait, you got me next to like a werewolf? He's like, let me out. That shit was funny. But look, when dude was like, nah, man, you safe. We need him for this mission or whatever. But you know, he's not completely harmless to kill like 30 kids or something. I was like, oh, he about to die. He about to die real. He's a kid killer. He's gonna die soon. This nigga jumps off the plane and drowns. Hilarious.
But did you see at the end of the movie though?
Yeah. He didn't die though.
He didn't die. The entire time he on the beach, just chilling, and then the last bit of water comes out, gets up and runs in the fort. I'm like, damn, they got another child killer out on the loose, man.
Oh, ugly. It's ugly. Ugly as shit.
All right, but I guess to kind of like wrap it up because we got like 1 hour for this recording, right? But overall though, man, Jeremy, you're still wrong, and everybody out there trashing this movie, y'all wrong too. Like the Locks would say, fuck you, I'm playing. But y'all wrong though. Y'all wrong. The movie is fun. I don't care what none of y'all say. Watch it again with the expectations of, listen, this is not going to be Nolan's Batman series. And no, he's not going to make a cameo. He did that in the last one. We don't need it again. But overall, it's just a fun ass ride. So take it or love it. All right. But yeah, so what else happened this week, y'all? Listen, man, it has been a great week for hip hop. In a big way.
You gotta get New York City. Are you ready? Listen. Listen.
We were talking about the versus battle. Probably one of the better, if not the best versus.
This is the best one.
Show. You think so?
Best one.
Better than Gucci Man, Jeezy?
Yes, man, because
better than 2 Chainz. and Rick Ross.
Oh my, yes, because Rick Ross destroyed. Yes, way better than that. This is the best. This is the best one, bro. It's not even close. Because you know what? Everything coming into it made it what it was. Because the lots for the most part was quiet, but Dipset in typical Harlem flashy fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Try saying that shit 3 times fast. Yo, we about to murder these dudes. Jim Jones, yo, let me get a 30-piece Lux McNuggets with a side of Jada sauce. I was like, yo, y'all really talking trash. These niggas is MCs, bro. Like, Sheik Luch is like the least strong rapper of the 3, and he can rap. You know what I'm saying? So that tells you what Styles and Jada can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's yo, take it off mute if we can.
Well,
they would
that's
get
the
shut
thing.
down.
Well, I gotta for StreamYard, you gotta like download the video first.
Okay.
And then put on audio. But I just want to give people the visual. This is the moment where he went into the Who Shot Your remix. And then this is where like the tides were like turning in the entire show. And listen, man, if people don't understand why Jada isn't what he is today, or why why a lot of people are saying he's top 5 that are alive, this is one of the reasons why. He commanded that stage with control. He wouldn't back down, and you could tell he was just passionate about this rapping. And you don't get that a lot these days. And I'm not knocking people, rapping because maybe it's a fun thing or maybe it's a hustle. I get it, young black man, do your thing, making money. But when you see something like this right here, when somebody is just in the zone, like Jordan in a playoff game with the flu, the chip game with the flu, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man, the Locks did a damn good job, man, representing New York. Whew.
Lesson for you young rappers out there, and even some of you old head rappers, right? Understand there is a big difference. And like, we used to have these discussions when we was like in middle school, high school. You remember And1 mixtape when that was hot? And every time you saw hot sauce or one of the professor do a move, you would try to go to the playground and imitate the move. Understand this right here. Hold on, let me I need this. I need that for this. I need this extra shit for what I'm about to say. Understand there's levels to it, right? And that dude playing And1 ball is not the same as Kobe Bryant playing in the NBA. It's not the same as LeBron playing at the NBA. Different levels, different leagues, right? Dipset is cool. All of them dudes can rap. But you talking about the Locks, you talking about a group that is dialed in. You're talking about dudes who can all spit and they have no weaknesses. And they love it. It's like it's life to them. So it's like, and you got to see too, is a difference between having a moment in time where you hot and then having classics. The Locks got classics, man. Dipset, they was hot for a time. You know what I'm saying? And they put out some anthems. But what songs would you say is just like timeless classic? The Locks pulled out All About the Benjamins. That's like 1998, bro. 23 years ago. It was people watching that who weren't even around during that time. When they put out All About the Benjamins in New York City, the crowd went crazy because that was a classic, man. Like what Dipset song can you say will give you that same feeling as that? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they did it. They play the songs that give you that same feeling. But the issue with Dipset, unlike the Locks, they weren't prepared. There wasn't a unit. That's the thing. And as Jada pointed out time and time again, these niggas is rapping over their own lyrics. Like they don't know what the fuck they're saying.
Right.
Jewels and Jimmy, sometimes, they will be like either ahead of their rhymes or behind it, or they will they would try to let the crowd finish what they were saying. They didn't seem prepared. I could have sworn that with Dipset, I think each member had like their own DJs. Already, it's a flag. if they had one DJ that knew how to, set up for the lead in or to fade out or whatever, it would have made for like a cleaner experience, especially rapping over your own lyrics. Like that's what artists do today that don't really rap. They rap over their own shit. Like we want to hear your vocals, and I think that's why the Locks just cut through so much better, because everybody could hear what they were saying, because it was just their actual vocals themselves, and not their vocals over some more vocals. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. It's like the Locks came. No, Dipset came like most verses. They was like, yo, this about to just be a friendly back and forth. Y'all played some songs that was hot. We played some songs that was hot.
Oh no. They knew that. Matter of fact, it was Styles P and Cam, and then Styles was like, "Look, we're going to get chippy." That's his word.
I thought that was after the fact, though. Wasn't a video told me they both had on white shirts? I thought that was after.
But he was saying before it started. He told him because at one point there was like, yeah, I'm gonna be Macho Man, you be Randy Savage.
You be the
you know what I'm saying? So they knew it coming into it that they was going to get the fuck you, you pussy, y'all niggas lame, blah 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 blah. Which I love all that shit, man. I know it's hood as hell.
It is, listen, man. That's what makes it dope, though.
Yeah,
it take you back to another time.
Yeah, man. And for young fans now of hip hop that didn't have the joy to experience like this era of hip hop, I'm glad it was done this way, just so they could see what they were missing. You know what I'm saying? Because the Locks been around for a long ass time since Biggie was here, and they still here. They're still making music. And shit, man, I don't think I'm wrong though. Are they probably one of the only groups that never broken up?
Yes, definitely. Never, I'm pretty sure, because they brothers, you gonna beef with your brother from time to time or whatever like that, but never publicly like had any scandals, anything crazy, breaking up. They put out solo projects, but the Locks was always the Locks.
Yeah.
And that's big, man. It's like, I think if Dipset had prepared a different way, then it would have been competitive. I still think the Locks would get it because Jada by himself is like a monster by himself. Let's just be honest, right? But it could have went a different way because Cameron, despite some of the crazy stuff he's rapped, can actually flow a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
And Cam got
I got computers computing. Met a chick named Eatsa, eating a piece of pizza. Like, I don't know what he's talking about, but he has said things before.
Yo, I was mad that he didn't play his verse from the Clips joint. What's that joint, man? I understand. I'm back by popular demand.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, man. Now listen, man. Cam been out since like the 90s too now. Yeah. And he has joints. But man, I was rooting for Dipset because in the beginning I didn't like him because there was too flashy and the rhymes was kind of like watered down. But yo, them fucking beats back then, man, by the Heat Makers.
I was just about to say that. This was during the time I was still working at McDonald's at the time. That's how long ago this was. But I had my little hoop ride and I had a little box in the back with an amp, had two 12s. I was like, yo, I need some Dipset because they got the bass in they beats. You know what I'm saying?
They hit, man. But I mean, I was rooting for them, man, because later on I started to like appreciate them more. And they have bangers, man. They have bangers, but it wasn't hitting because you didn't feel that team spirit amongst them. You know what I'm saying? So
they didn't have that. The Locks is a well-oiled machine. You're right, but I just think with a little more preparation, they could have had a better showing. It's just like I think they really showed up expecting a pickup game of basketball, and the Locks was like, no, fuck that. We got an opportunity, right? Because Versus is big. We treated it like game 7 of the finals. So the way that the Locks was rapping, you don't just like don't rap these songs for like months on end and just show up. No. They've been rehearsing that joint. I guarantee you for the past I don't know how many weeks getting ready. Jadakiss probably only out of all the raps he did, I want to say he only stumbled over like maybe 2 words. Out of all the raps he did, that takes practice and repetition. They was prepared for that shit.
I mean, there's a reason why he proclaimed and people have acknowledged he's top 5 dead or alive off of one OP.
Let's talk about that. Hold on. Come on, Button. Act right. It's he's been saying it his whole career. Is Jada top 5?
I mean, my list keeps going back and forth, man. Because all right. So at this point, do we still keep Biggie and Tupac?
No,
because
to
that's
me,
like
no.
everybody's go-to.
That's
Biggie,
not to me.
Tupac.
It's not even to me. It's not even controversial to leave both of them outside of the top 5. Top 10, yes. Top 5. It's so many people who've done more and had long careers. What? You're not hungry. You just ate, buddy. Go sit down. Go watch cartoons. Shut it up. I love you. Get out. So what you think?
Hell, man. That that has to be a topic for another day because Tupac isn't in my top 5. He's just not in my 5.
Okay.
Biggie is in there. Jay is in there. Nas is in there. Scarface is up there. And that fifth slot, I'm not sure. Because to me, the 5th could be Jada. The 5th could be Drake. The 5th could be...
No Kendrick? I'm putting Kendrick over Scarface, bro. Don't get me wrong. Face Mob got songs. Face Mob can rap, but he ain't what Kendrick Lamar is like. He's like a space alien with the shit.
And Andre, like it's between. I got so many people.
It's so like. You know what we got to do? I'm gonna have to take a note of this. We're gonna have, and this is the reason why it'd be so hard to have a consensus top 5 because it's like you know the artists that you want to put in there, but then it's like, what is the criteria? You know what I'm saying? So it's like to take it to basketball, right? Is Tracy McGrady better than Charles Barkley? Like, I don't know. It's like McGrady was a way better scorer, but then he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? He only had like maybe, I'm gonna say 5 or 6 good seasons before injury slowed him down. So it's like, yo, what are the categories that we're talking about?
Right. That makes sense. I mean, that would have to be the way that you would do it because it's just too many variables. I mean, you can. I mean, we can't. You can always do the NTV route, like who's the raddest. I mean, the hardest rapper of all time, whatever. But yeah, that would have to be something where you gotta really think about what categories, what criteria that you would make for a top 5. Like my top 5 off the head is at least those 4 right now. But shit, it may change if I sit down and think about it some more.
And then if you want to say one of the categories that you're talking about is influence on other rappers. If you're talking about just influence on other rappers, I can make an argument that Lil Wayne is the greatest rapper of all time.
Yeah,
if you're talking about just strictly influence, everybody that's in rap now, half of them got a Lil name. That's all from Lil Wayne. This whole mixing hip hop with rock and the tighter jeans and all skateboarding, that's Lil Wayne. This nigga influenced Drake, who himself could be in the top 5 potentially. That's Lil Wayne. Like, it's just, what are the categories? That's why it's so hard. You can't do it. What are the categories? What are we talking about?
Yeah, man.
Are we just talking about skill? Are we talking about influence? Are we talking about how many records you sold? What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Yeah. But we'll come back to that topic.
We'll circle back to it. I would say just real quick, I'm not ready to put him in top 5, even though this performance elevates him. Because even though this wasn't like an album that he put out or a single he put out, this was a moment in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? This is one of those moments. In fact, I want to say this is the last time there's been a moment since the Control verse. I can't think of a bigger moment in the past
I was
7 or 8 years since the Control verse. That was a moment in hip hop. This versus was a moment.
A good day right there.
Okay.
Some of the biggest. Okay, so write that down. We need to research biggest moments in hip hop.
His has moved up the ladder. He's definitely in my, I would say, top 15. And that sounds far off, but we talk about it's been thousands of rappers, hundreds of good rappers. Top 15 is not bad at all.
Okay. All right, y'all. So down to our last topic before we are out of here, y'all. So again, talking to my good brother Jeremy, and he came up with a really good question. Like, why are the movie studio, whatever you want to call them, making our villains into heroes? I.e., we're looking at Loki, we're looking at Venom, and him and I are on the same page. Like, listen, why are they making Venom a good guy? He is a villain, dead ass villain, but they got him portraying as like a, what they call it, an
anti-hero.
As an anti-hero. You know what I'm saying? And then we get Loki, and then we get it. He's popular, people like him, women love him, etc. But Loki is a grade A asshole villain. But they're trying to make him comparable. Why are they doing that? Are they doing that just because of money is involved? More than likely. But why can we have, see? Now mind you, the Joker movie was a great look into somebody that was trouble who is an actual villain, right? So do you think this is going to be a trend where we get more movies or even shows about some of our villains that we kind of like, turning them into anti-heroes?
Two things. I think two reasons for it, rather. You already hit the nail on the head. It's because of money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a lot easier to have a franchise built on a guy who's either a hero or anti-hero, you know, because you can have the movie and then you can have 3, 4, 5 sequels on it if it does well, right? It's a little bit harder to sell a villain. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit harder to do that. So less movies, less money. That's number one. But number two, think about it like this. The movie makers aren't doing nothing that comic book writers haven't been doing since, what, the 70s? The 80s? Whenever comic books kind of started taking a darker tone, you know what I'm saying? The most famous anti-hero, Wolverine, right? Like, you know, he's pretty much a hero, but
he is a hero. Yeah.
He's a hero, but I say, like, he's borderline anti-hero though, because he murders motherfuckers. Like, he'll murder a dude without a second thought. He's the best there is at what he do. Okay. And everybody that he kills isn't necessarily like a serial killer or something crazy like that. He could just be in a regular fight with somebody, but like, this nigga's a cold-blooded killer. I mean, he's got 6 claws, for Pete's sake. Like, this nigga was built to kill, all right? So that's part of it too, man. This is something that's always been a part of comic books. You're talking about Wolverine. You're talking about Magneto. You talk about Lex Luthor. All of these people have flip-flopped between good guy and bad guy 100 times, Sabretooth, 100 times over the course of comic books. And the reason being, you got to create new stories. You know what I'm saying? You a comic book artist, a comic book writer. You got to come out with at least a book a month or a book every couple of weeks, depending on what publication you're talking about and how popular your title is. Right. So you got to have new stories, new interesting stories. So we using the same characters, right? How do we make these characters more, you know, interesting? Well, this is a bad guy, but let's tell you why he's a bad guy. And he's a bad guy because Superman did this to him way back in the day. But then at some point, maybe he realizes the error in his ways. You know what I'm saying? He changes. Then eventually he changes back. Yada, 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 yada. It's interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting. And it breathes a breath of fresh air into the story, these stale storylines. That's the number 2 reason they do it. But the number 1 reason is, like you said, it's money. Definitely.
And that's the sad truth, y'all. I mean, can we get
Is it
this?
sad though? Why is it sad though?
Because I would rather have my true villains act like true villains.
But are villains is anybody a true villain and is anybody a true good guy? Like let's put, they say like art imitates life, life imitates art. Is any bad guy 100% bad or is any good guy 100% good? It's a lot of gray in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but let me push back though. Like,
Okay.
for example, right? Carnage, who is going to be in this new Venom movie. I don't want him to be a good guy. I want him to be how he was meant to be in the comics. Full on, bloodthirsty, homicidal fool.
I was about to say homosexual.
To the very end, right?
Carnage is gay, son.
To the very, very end, I want him to be that way. Now, Venom now is more of a good guy more than ever for the most part, right?
Even in the comic books.
Now, I think his run on Donnie Case is probably like the best run that he has in years. But anyways, right? I can see in the sense of Venom why, because the first movie did so good with the lowest of expectations, it made a whole gang of money. So yeah, they're going to keep that trend. But like for an example, I don't want to see Apocalypse become good. I don't want to see Omega Red become a good guy. I don't want to see Mojo from Mojo World become a good guy. Like I want my villains to be the bloody bastards that they are until the day that they die, or until the day that Marvel or DC is like, you know what, we don't want no more. Like shit. For example, if they ever make the Joker a good guy, I would quit life. Man, because it's like, no, the Joker is a prime example of what it means to be he is the top villain, or one of the best villains dead or alive, top 3 easy. You know what I'm saying?
So let me throw this out there real quick because we're short on time. So is it just the fact that certain villains are getting their own movies, and in the movies they're kind of like the protagonist?
Yeah.
Or is it so is it just that fact, or is it the fact that within the movie, you feel like they should be the bad guy? Because I put it like this: Venom is normally the bad guy. In the Venom movies, though, there's another bad guy. So you got Carnage in this one. So does that balance it out for you, or what?
No, because even young boy, what's up, buddy? But yeah, but like I mean, like even in this movie, right? And the trailers, the actual Venom semi-unit, whatever you want to call it, he's saying like, "Yo, when can we eat more bad people?" Because he's hungry. Like, oh, we can't eat no more people. I'm like, no, let him be the meanest son of a bitch like he was in the comics when him and Spider-Man were beefing. I want that Venom. I want that aggressive, cockiness. Whenever I see you, it's on sight. I want that Venom right there.
Okay, so let me throw this out there. So you want that. So how do you reconcile with him just murdering people to feed the symbiote? Like who do you choose to murder? It's like, can you even root for the dude that's murdering people?
Yes, you can, because
we did it with the Joker. He a child molester. Cool. Yeah, the child molester.
We is not touching children.
That's what I'm saying. They get to eat the child molesters.
If he wants to eat a Karen who is in a mall throwing a fit, yes, eat that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
No Karen is safe. No Karen is safe.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, yes. Why are you?
Yes. Right. I want your manager.
Hold on real quick.
Right.
That'll be dope.
If there's somebody in traffic, texting and driving, eat them up. I'm cool with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
I mean, shit. We all applauded when the Joker movie came out and he was just killing random people on a train. Yes, they were dicks. Yes, they put the paws on him. But were they evil? They were just some assholes that were drunk. But he shot them. bang, 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 y'all niggas dead. And everybody was like, oh shit, this movie is so great. See? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
He was insane. You know, it's mental health. Talk to somebody if you can talk to somebody. Mental health awareness. We just passed. Was it mental health awareness? Is it in June? What is mental health awareness month?
I think it was June. Oh, before we go, we got 5 minutes left, right? Cool. Going back to Suicide Squad, the polka dot man. Funny, yo. There were moments whenever he saw his mom. That shit was like, yo, if you ain't smile or laugh whenever that happened, nigga, y'all wrong. That shit was funny, man.
Like, well, I don't know what you expected from this movie. It's a bunch of it's what it is, and I think they did it for what the premise was. Again, they did a great job. James Gunn.
You gotta give it up.
You get that, James Gunn. For real.
Yep.
For real.
But that's all I got, man, for today.
All right, well, cool. Well, thank everybody for joining us on this episode of Geek Salad. The first episode streaming live. So thank everybody for watching. G, do we got the links up for our StreamYard? Is that up? Did we update that yet?
Not yet, but once this is over, we're going to make sure that going forward, we're going to go on Instagram, we're going to go on Twitter, we're going to go on Pornhub. Whatever you can see our videos, we're going to be there to let y'all know when our show is coming out. So I'm going to work on the specs. So yeah, be on the lookout for it.
All right, cool. In the meantime, you can see all of our foolishness that we have on our YouTube channel. You can check our Instagram page at Geek Salad Now. We have a link to everywhere that you can follow us on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. Join our Facebook group. Like and subscribe. Also, in the comments, we want to get y'all opinion of the Suicide Squad. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was dope? Did you think it was garbage juice? Jeremy, we already know what you think. You wrong, bro. But whatever.
I think we should name this episode "You're Wrong, Jeremy."
Bet and make sure. And look, we're not chatty patties neither. If we say something about somebody, we're gonna tag you in it.
Right.
We're talking about you, Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that's the homie though. All right, look. Thank everybody for watching you. Until next time.
Peace.